another Great Loop lifestyle video. Today we are highlighting Grafton and Alton, Illinois, and I'm Kim Russo with America's Great Loop Cruisers Association. We decided to feature Grafton and Alton together because they are, as you see, very close together geographically. There's about 15 miles between the two. Both have fabulous marinas that are AGLCA sponsors, so a lot of loopers have a hard time picking between the two, and some, like us, will stay at both. So Grafton Harbor is a first-rate marina with all of the amenities. We happened to be there during somewhat of a heat wave. It was in the upper 90s, so we thoroughly enjoyed the pool. But beyond that, the gift shop and, marina office that has lots of supplies also has wine tastings and a very nicely stocked wine bar and liquor bar there. There is also a restaurant on site. The Oyster Bar is a Cajun restaurant, so even if oysters is not your thing, the food there was amazing. They've got lots of really festive drinks. Grafton Harbor is actually known as the Key West of the Midwest, so it was a nice visit. Besides the marina itself, in parts of town, there is a port of Grafton, and this beautiful riverboat was docked there. This is a cruise ship that travels up and down the river system. And then the other big attraction in Grafton is the Airy Lodge. You can take this sky tour on up to the lodge. They have both gondolas and kind of like traditional chairlift for skiing that take you up the hill. The gondolas are not air conditioned, and being it was 90 plus degrees, we opted for the chairlift, but this is kind of the view on your way up. And when you reach the top, you are rewarded with beautiful scenery. There's a winery at the top, there's a gift shop, and there's a restaurant where we had a really nice lunch. And there is also some signs when you get to the top about kind of a scenic overlook. So we took the trek out that way. Some neat little things along the way, a ring toss game, some rope swings, but the actual platform for the overlook was a little bit disappointing, so don't recommend doing that. Once you get on top of it, which is small, their trees are actually blocking the view. So there's a much better view from the restaurant. I recommend you just kind of stick with that. And then the view on the way back down is probably the best view that you get while you're doing the whole trip up there to Airy Lodge. Airy's also just opened a kind of mountainside coaster that runs on a track. Looked like a lot of fun. They were still installing it when we were there, and it has since opened. Once you are back down from your ride up there, you can actually kind of shop in some of the stores there in Grafton. We unfortunately were there on a Tuesday and just about everything was closed, but we did stop into this farm market, which was really well stocked if you need any provisions. And we also wandered into this woodworking store that just had all these gorgeous wood planks with live edges that they make furniture and other things out of. Highly recommend just going in there and looking around. Such beautiful craftsmanship that they're making out of wood there. So that's just a quick look at Grafton. Moving on to Alton, another first-rate marina. Alton Marina also has a pool. Most of the slips are covered, and spectacular bathhouses there. So it's a beautiful marina, very well run. The marina is right next to a waterfront park where they have some events. So if you happen to be there at the right time, you might catch one of those. And if you're into casinos, there is one of those just beyond the park, easy walking distance. There's also a walking bridge to get into the heart of town that's really kind of not shown for whatever reason on a lot of the maps. So I'm pointing it out to you here. And that little bridge will take you over the levee and across the road into the heart of the downtown area. Lots of shops here. We wandered into a stained glass shop that was giving a class one evening and just had some beautiful work in there. There is also the general store from 1904. Shopkeeper was just a delight. I enjoyed chatting with her while I browsed the ice cream and candy and all of the lovely gifts. And as you kind of work your way upstairs in the shop, you'll find even more goods, but also this kind of seating area, and that is used for guests of the Brown Bag Bistro, which is next door. I didn't get a chance to visit the Brown Bag Bistro, but other loopers did and said it's a great lunch place. And this is kind of the area between the Brown Bag Bistro and the general store, and you can see it's very nautically themed. There's a big mansion at the top of the hill that's kind of in the shot there, and it's just a really pretty spot to visit. Another shop I really enjoyed was Mississippi Mud Pottery. Beautiful things in this store, all made right there in the back, and there were several people working back there. They said they were trying to replace stock because they had sold so much at a recent show. But they also had these really interesting book titles, and so apropos to life on the water and the journey that we're all on, so it was interesting to see that. We had a really extraordinary meal at Gentleman's. It was a weekday. I want to say it was a Wednesday or Thursday, and it was super busy, which is usually a good sign. But I had a salad that I completely enjoyed, and Michael had his usual steak, and it was also enjoyable for him, and the drinks were great as well. And a couple other little shops that I really enjoyed in Alton. One was Luciana's Pastry, wonderful bakery with just such a lovely decor there. You can see it almost looks like a tea house, but very welcoming and comfortable. And then just down the street from there is the Germania Brew House, and they brew both beer and coffee. And I had probably the best iced coffee I've ever had right there. And the vibe inside this shop is just really neat. Here's some of the video of it. But just something different and kind of unexpected, and I wish we had been staying in Alton longer so I could get some more of that coffee. But that is Grafton and Alton. If you have the time to do both, they were both wonderful stops. Our next Great Loop Lifestyle video will come to you from Paducah, Kentucky, as we finish Illinois and move on to the next state. Thanks for watching.